Hi, so the first step I'm doing is just wetting the canvas with some water, H2O. Then I'm going to take some white, pink, blue, black, and just randomly go down the sides of the painting. Because it's a triangle, I'm going to try something different. Now taking the airbrush and moving the paint around to where I think it might need to be. So here I'm adding some more color. Don't be scared to add more color to your pour painting. Make it yours, make it the way you want it to come out. That's what I mean by art has no rules. Just do what you feel until the complete project comes out the way you want. So here I'm adding a little rainbow glitter using a salt shaker so it doesn't pour out super fast. It kind of just sprinkles it all over. It's metallic resin glitter, super fine. Just a little touch to add a little glimmer to the painting. As I lift it up, you can see the resin glitter sparkle a little. So here the pour painting is completely dry. I'm taking some transparent white and putting it in the top left corner. That's going to be my brightest spot of the canvas. So when I put the planets in, that will be the light source. So I'm adding some painter's tape. I'm sticking it on the canvas. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I've done this. For those who haven't, just taking some tape, sticking it on, then I'll airbrush lines through the center of the painter's tape. You can also dry brush this in. You don't need an airbrush to do this. This is a circle template, and I'm going to do some highlights around that bright star right there. That's my brightest point. That's the point of interest of the canvas. So here is some watercolor paper. It has a repositional adhesive on the back. I'll put that on. I used a circle cutter to cut out the circles. Real simple. I'll airbrush some white and highlight the front of the planet to the light source, which is that bright light star right there on the left side. Now for the dark side of the planet, I'm using straight black. It's a little transparent, but you can use any dark color for this to make your painting more interesting. If you want to use a dark blue, that's fine. You can also dry brush this in over the stencils. You don't have to use an airbrush. Just take some paint and dry brush around the edges of the stencil. Same thing. So here's my favorite star making tool, the toothbrush. I'll just randomly go around the canvas sprinkling stars all over the place. I'll add an excess amount of stars in certain areas where there's a star cluster, just to make the painting more interesting. So here I'm just taking some color and going over the pour painting. Like I said before, acrylic painting, you can do whatever you want. If your pour comes out really bad and the colors are real dark, just add some color to it. Nobody says you can't. Here I'm just adding just little interest spots on the canvas, some little galaxies maybe that are way out there. Painting right over the pour painting. You can do this with any of your art. So after I'm done doing this, I'm going to glaze over those little nebulas that I just painted with some pink, just to give it a little more interest. You can glaze over it with a paintbrush with some watered down paint. So here I'm just going to take some orange watered down paint and glaze over the stars. I can use an airbrush to do this, but this is another way of doing it by just using watered down paint and glazing over the top of a color, and you'll see the color from underneath pop through. So here I'm using some transparent bright blue. I'm going to glaze over some of the white and give it a nice glowing effect. You can glaze over it without an airbrush by using watered down paint again. A little bit more stars to give it more a three-dimensional effect. Now I'll go back with some bright white and just highlight all those little details I have to make the painting pop. So now I think I'm pretty much done. You can always come back later after you think of some more things to put on there. A painting is never really done. And don't be scared to paint over your pour painting. Add color, add whatever you want. Nobody says you can't.